Welcome to the Unapologetically Unstoppable podcast. I'm your host, Jeanette Peterson. And on this podcast, we talk about how to partner with the Holy Spirit with your business and how to grow businesses with practical tips and tricks. Get ready. Here we go. Hey, welcome to today's episode of the Unapologetically Unstoppable podcast. And in this episode, we've got Jennifer Swineford, and I'm so excited because she is a powerhouse marketing queen. And in the world of marketing and business growth, one size does not fit all, okay? Jennifer Swineford's approach as a fractional CMO, Chief Marketing Officer, lies in understanding the uniqueness of each business and weaving her strategies effortlessly into their story. The customization is at the core of every service offered by the Limitless Impact Agency and their commitment to personalized client-centered success because everybody is different. When Jennifer works with a business, she becomes part of the team, a co-architect of their vision, personalizing her services to the specific needs and desires of each business. Whether it's implementing marketing strategies or training sales and marketing teams, her involvement is comprehensive and transformative. Welcome, Jennifer.
Hi, Jeanette. So happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm so excited to be here too. Like, this is going to be awesome. Like, you are just a marketing genius, and I'm so glad that people are going to actually hear, like, what they really need to do when it comes to marketing.
Oh, thank you so much.
Tell me about your business. Tell me about the Limitless Impact Agency. Tell me what that is.
So it was created because I used to do what a lot of marketing agencies do, which is provide services. So a client would come to me and say they want me to run their social media ads, their Google ads, run social media, build a website. And I was seeing that people were chasing all the bright, shiny things, and they were just throwing spaghetti at the wall. There was no strategy. They oftentimes didn't even know who they were trying to reach. They had just gone to a conference, watched a webinar, and was like, I need to be on Facebook. I don't have time. I don't know how. You do it for me. And it wasn't getting them results. And so while it was making me money, it wasn't making them money. And I didn't like the way that felt. And so I really got dug into the strategy and the consulting. So while I still offer those services, I do it with intentionality and really like team up and dig into the business with the client so that they can get the results that they're looking for.
I love that because I had a marketing agency at one point and I was just like, all of these people don't actually know what they want. This is so frustrating. I cannot handle this. Yep. So I was like, I don't want to do this anymore because you guys don't like it was like trying to convince somebody what they needed and they were just not listening.
Yep. Yeah, that's absolutely the truth. But I've gotten really fortunate and I have clients that do listen to me. A number of times I've had clients come to me and tell me they want to run Google ads. And I'm like, awesome, let's talk about this, And so we dig into it and I'm like, yeah, you don't need Google ads. What you need is you need to set up email sequences. We need to create lead generators. We need to figure out who you're trying to sell your services to. Your website, it's terrible. And then when I lay it all out for them and the why behind it and why it works, they see it. I mean, we're all exposed to marketing. We all know what works for us. And so when I lay it out to them in a way that makes sense, they're just like, oh yeah, let's do that instead. So
I love that. I love that you like really dig deep into what their like why is and why they're doing it to like really diagnose the best strategy. And I feel like that's the key, right? It's not just about making money. It's about making money that's going to make them money too. And like, it's a good win-win for everybody. I love that. I love that approach.
Thanks.
So would you say that your business is God-centered or would you say that you're God-centered? So like everything you do is for God?
I would say that I am God-centered. My business doesn't have like a direct correlation, but I would say that like through me in my business, God shines through to, the work that I do and the clients that I talk to and all of that.
I love that. I love that. So question for you. This is a question that I get a lot actually, is because I'm very, very forward facing with my faith, right? And so people are always like, how do you do that? from a marketing perspective, what would you tell them? Like, what would you tell them to do it? Would you tell them not to do it? Would you tell them it depends on, like, what would that conversation be like?
Yeah, so it really does depend on what your goal is. So like you are looking to work with God-centered women and help them grow their business. And like you are wanting to attract people who connect with you on that God level and also understand it and then want God to shine through their business, whether it's outward facing the way you do it or more inward facing the way I do it. But you're still like, that's a big part of your target market. So yes, absolutely. You should just like put it all out there. I also have a client who's not, it's a remodeling company. It's a very large remodeling company. They're very well known in our community and they are not like they're pretty, they don't get political, they don't get religious. However, they do support a like adoption organization type of, give someone another option other than abortion type of
Right.
an organization in the community. And they are very public about the support that they give to that. And, so it's like there's a little piece of them, and they are very religious, but there's a piece of them that shows up in that. And we talked it through. It's like you can attract more people that are like, oh, you believe the same things I believe. You have that, like, there's that instant connection. Now I instantly trust you, even though it has nothing to do with you remodeling my house. I still trust you. And so I'm going to do business with you. Like, you can get some buy-in from that. And then there's also, the people who are like, well, I had an abortion, so now I feel weird about you, and so
Yeah.
we talked about the pluses and minuses there, and we decided to go ahead and still like push that in their marketing.
I love that because some people don't want to be outwardly facing, but they do want to know that people are supporting the same things they do, like you said. And I think that is a great, I think in like euphemisms, right? Like a great puzzle piece of connection, right? Like very piece that's like, okay. But even if, like, let's say I did not have an abortion, but let's say I did, I'd still be like, okay, well, they're giving people another option that maybe I didn't even know existed at the time that I had one. You know what I'm saying? So it could be a very open conversation. It doesn't sound like they're judging people, but they want to know that there's something else out there.
Yep. Yeah. And it's not like it's a main piece of their marketing. It's
Right.
something that they throw out there when they, help support the gala or they're doing a fundraising event for them or something along those lines. But, it's also not something that they're choosing to hide. And,
Yeah.
you just got to talk that through. And a lot of people right now want to know what businesses are supporting outside of themselves. So it's like, where are you giving back? Whether it's to your community or whether it's to some like national organization or whatever, they want to know that like you're doing something good outside of your business. And so they kind of expect it. They want to know, they like connect on that level. And so it's almost recommended to like put something out there. So you just got to kind of figure out what it is you're putting out there. And the nice thing is that personal branding is so critical to business growth right now. Like it can be so impactful to your business. Like even like Gary Vee and Elon Musk. And I mean, like those personal brands help drive their businesses. And I was reading a report, had all these numbers in it. I'm not a great numbers person, but like everything like from trust and would pay more money for the same services and all of these numbers are coming back right around 60%. So like 60%
Wow.
of people will pay more for the same service if they like the personal brand of like a top level executive at that company.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. So now when you're talking about personal branding, how do people know who they, because I feel like Gary Vee knows exactly who he is. Elon Musk knows exactly who, and they're very unapologetic about it, which is why, like that's why I feel like I feel them. I don't agree with everything they say, but I understand why they're doing the things they do, and like they make polarizing content. They're very stark in their stances and they're not like wavering, right? They're
Mhm.
not trying to get everybody. They're just like, this is who I am.
Yeah.
So how do you teach people that part? Because I feel like when people are coming to you, like when they were coming to me, I just want to help everybody. I just want to be good. I just want to blah, blah, blah. Who are you serving? Everybody. But like, let's be real.
Yep.
No.
Yeah. So I work with a lot of realtors and a lot of custom home builders, remodelers, like people in the trades. And that whole industry is everybody. I'm a realtor. I can help anybody buy or sell a home, like in the state, really. And I'm licensed in the state, so I can help everybody. And I was like, yeah, but you don't have
But
the kind of money to market to everybody. And the thing that it takes people a while to understand is that when you try to market to everyone, your message becomes so vague and so whitewashed that it's like it doesn't really connect with anybody at all. And so it's just background noise. But when you decide that you are going to, let's say you're a realtor, you're going to sell to the family who has two kids that are like between the ages of 5 and 11. They're looking for that home that can be the home where everybody hangs out, as they're hitting their preteen, teenage years, that has like space for the kids, space for them and their friends. This family that you want to sell to, they have a dog, like they're involved in their community, maybe they're involved in their church specifically. When you really narrow it down, then you can have a conversation that's like, look, I know that you're busy with your kids' sports and everything going on in your church. And what you really want is you want this house, but you don't have time to go looking for it. What I
right.
can do is find the house. Like I know the house you're looking for because I have a kid the same age. Like I know what you want. I know the schools you want to be in. I know the neighborhood. Like I know who you want your neighbors to be. I can help you. And that message will resonate. They will connect with you because you have a kid their age. You have a dog. Like, you know what I mean? And every image that you're putting on social media is like, that's me. And
Yeah.
all of a sudden, like all of your social media posts, the emails that you're sending out, everything is like, this is creeping me out. It's like you can read my mind, like, because they really do know you. And you can do that one of two ways. You can either actually know them because you've lived that, or you can know them because you've had conversations with so many people that is just like them. And so diving deep into that, like really understanding your target market and really focusing on one target and one problem is the thing that like totally up levels your marketing in a way that people don't understand until they see the results. Because
Yeah.
it seems irrational. Like really narrowing your focus is going to get you more money than throwing out a really big net and not catching anything.
But I feel like people are just like, I just want to help everybody. But it's gonna be great. I could do anything.
Yes.
I feel like, especially, I don't know why it is for women, but we're like multi-passionate, right? And we're like, I can do everything. I can do it all. Like I have to do it all because I have to, right? So
Right.
I can totally help everybody. But you're right. Like when I started niching down into exactly who I want to help, the money started coming differently than when I was just throwing it out there because, like it could have been anybody. And like, I don't really want to work with anybody. That's not true. You know what I'm saying? I don't. There are people I don't want to work with. I want to work with action takers and thought leaders and people who are growing empires for Jesus.
Right.
That's a different vibe than I got a side hustle that, yes, I am a mom, but I'm not like the mom, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like you're saying, there is the niching down in your audience, but then also the niching down in what you do, because you still do all of these things. I do all of these things, but in my messaging, I
Yeah.
talk mostly about the one thing and that's like the fractional CMS services. Because if I have someone who's like hearing my fractional CMO message, then maybe they're not ready for it. Maybe they're not big enough. Maybe they're a single realtor and they're 2, 3 years in. They know they need to up level their marketing, but they're not ready for like this. They don't need what like the $10 million remodeling company needs, right?
Yeah.
I can still help them. Like they could still reach out to me. We can still connect. I can still help them. But that's not the main marketing message that I'm putting out. And I know the same with you. You do a lot of things, but you talk about the one problem that you solve for one group of people. And in that process, you might catch some other smaller fish that then you can decide, do I help them or do I not?
Yeah. And that makes it easy for me because I can be like, oh, I got this friend who does like automations for this. I've got this friend who does this for this. And like I could do it, but I don't love it, so I'm going to pass it off. And it doesn't seem like I'm hurting somebody's feelings when I'm like, oh, no, thank you. When I say that I do that, you know what I mean?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, what is the one thing that you would say is the biggest struggle to getting to where you are now?
Okay. See, when you say it out loud, it sounds different than when I read it. So I think the thing that this is how I read it. The thing that I could have done differently earlier
Okay.
on in my career
Yes.
that I wish I would have done sooner is asking for help. Like not feeling like I have to do it all myself. I have to figure it out all myself. I have to know all the things and do all the things, not just for the marketing piece of it, but everything else in the business. Like I don't know, but I know I'm not alone. But I don't know where we all learned that if you run a business, you've got to figure it all out yourself. You're in it completely alone. You can't ask for help. You can't say you don't know. You can't, it was when I started investing in myself and my business and seeking out people that like had been where I want to be and were able to help me avoid some of the potholes and roads that were under construction along the way. That's when I started seeing exponential growth in my business because I wasn't trying to figure it all out through YouTube videos and reading books and education, that like it's okay to ask for help.
That's so good because I feel like when you said, I don't know who taught, like the first person that came to mind was Marie Forleo because her book is called Everything is Figure Outable. So you're like, okay, I can figure this out. I can do this. Like she's done it. I can do this too. But really, it's not that you're trying to figure everything out. It's you're trying to find, to me, it's I need to find the right person who knows this answer so I can just ask them for their help and not try and figure it out myself. Like
And
I don't
like
need
she's
to
not wrong.
know all the
Everything
things.
is figure outable,
Right.
but
Right.
I want to do it faster than that.
Amen.
Like
Yes.
I can set up all of my systems myself. I can make this work, but you can do it 1,000 times faster than me. And like, why not? Just like I have a YouTube
Right?
channel. You can go watch all of my videos and you can figure out everything that I help my clients do. Like I don't hold any secrets back. But the amount of hours that you're going to have to invest and then the trial and error you're going to have to go through as you're crafting your marketing message and implementing it into your systems, this could take years.
Yeah. Literally. Literally. I feel like it's taken me years to get to this point, and I'm like, I wish that I had like some of it was good, right? Some trial and error. Like you like make the website the first time and you're like, this is the best thing ever. And then you look back like a year or two, like it's been like 5 years since my first website, and I was like, yo, who made that? Was that a high school kid? Because that is trash.
It's so true.
So what supernatural ways has God shown up for you?
A lot of it is his timing
Yeah.
and the no's that I got throughout my life that I thought I wanted to be yeses until I got like later on and was able to look back and was like, yeah, yeah, no was a really good move there. So yeah, it's just like it's those little, like it's not like one big, the heavens opened up and the sunlight came down. It's like God. it's like all these little things, like little raindrops, just like, yeah, as that, like it's fun to look back, whether it's the end of the month or the end of the quarter and be like, yeah, that was God.
Yep. Yes. Amen to that. So I feel like, we're like all grinding it out, doing our things, putting out the messaging, doing the things we're supposed to be doing. And we're like, some days I'm like, God, you got to show up here. And some days I'm like, look at God. Okay. Yes, it happened.
Yep, 100%. I actually have a story. Can I tell you?
Yes, please, please.
So it was like last June, so June of 2023, and I had finally heard all the podcasts, heard it from my business strategy, like done all that, like it was just like, just kept beating into my head, like I have to be intentional about my personal brand. Now I knew this from a marketing standpoint, but I hated the idea of like putting myself out there and the pictures of myself and the, like being the face of my business. And because I was always like, no, it's fine. I have a business page. I'll just hide back here behind my logo. And so June 2023, I'm like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to fully commit. I'm going to do Meta. I'm going to do LinkedIn 100%. I'm going to post every day. I'm going to engage. I'm 90 days. At the end of the 90 days, I'm going to go like call all the people that run all the podcasts and be like, see, it doesn't work for my business. Nothing happened. And so I am 2 weeks in and I get a cold outreach coming into my DMs from a qualified lead.
What?
And like, don't think that you're going to go out and do this because it's unheard of, but it was 1,000% God being like, yeah, you're not making it 90 days if you don't get some kind of results. Like he knew that even though I said I would commit to 90 days, I wasn't probably going to do the whole thing. So yeah, it was incredible. And even like today, I talk pretty regularly in front of groups of people and I tell that story all the time. It's like, trust me, I know you don't think it works. I know you don't want to put your picture out there. I'm right there with you. Personal branding works.
Does. It does. That's so great. Because like someone's telling me I like right now I'm in a challenge that's go live every day for 30 days. And I skipped yesterday. I'm not gonna lie.
Didn't you feel
Question
like
for no, go ahead.
didn't you feel like going live as a female is like so much more difficult than going live as a male?
I have to like put on my wig, put on my eyelashes, put my makeup on, like not look like a troll every day.
Yeah.
Get to just like wake up in my bonnet and be like, hey, here I am.
Yeah. Most guys can like put on a baseball hat, a polo shirt. It can be the same polo shirt every single
Yes, they
day.
could. Nobody would notice either.
Nobody would even think about it.
Such a struggle.
I get it.
But like I'm gonna do it. And we're gonna like see how it works. And I do these things just because like I just need to like, sometimes we should do a little push and get out there. Those are fun to me.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. And try things. Like,
Yes.
find out if it works.
It's an experiment, right?
Maybe you get 2 weeks in and you start getting cold qualified leads from Facebook.
Right? Oh, I was gonna ask you, was it from Facebook or was it from LinkedIn that you got that lead?
It was from Facebook, which
Interesting.
makes no sense.
None.
Like, none at all.
Yeah. That's only good because that doesn't happen.
No.
So what's one thing on your journey that has made you unstoppable?
I don't know if you would really qualify it as tenacity or
Okay.
hard-headedness.
Maybe both.
Like it's just like failure is not like a thing. It's like, oh, that didn't work, so I'm gonna find another way. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
around, through, over. Like I'll dig a tunnel. Like I'm figuring this out. We're gonna get there.
I feel
So
like that is the literal, like I was watching this YouTube video last night with my husband, And this girl asked him, "Hey, so how do you build this app and like what language did you choose and what should I choose?" And he was like, "Google it." He was like, "You have to try things. You have to try and like see if it works. And if it doesn't, choose a different one. Like you just have to keep going." And like that's literally how you run a business. You just keep trying, you just keep showing up, you just keep doing it. Throw it against the wall. It doesn't work. You throw something else. Like Rome was not built in a day. I think it said Thomas Jefferson tried over 1,000 times to make a light bulb. Like you got to keep going.
Yeah. Well, and with business, we're not just making a light bulb in most cases. Like at least he got
No.
to make a light bulb and he was done.
Yeah.
We're making a light bulb and then the logarithms are changing or, rules are changing or the market changes and you just got to keep figuring it out.
Yeah. Yeah. We're like trying to fly a kite in a snowstorm that's got tornado coming along the way, and we got to keep it going, you know?
It's true.
I love that though. Like that is the true thing that keeps businesses going these days. You
Yeah,
have to
because
have a little bit of hard-headedness,
yeah,
little grit, little
yeah, that's why so many businesses fail because it's hard.
it is hard, and you got to keep going. You can't stop.
Yeah.
So, what is your favorite Bible verse and why?
So I'm a child of the 80s and I grew up with Awana. And the Awana Bible verse is 2 Timothy 2:15. It is, do your best to present yourself to God as one approved, a worker who does not need to be ashamed and who correctly handles the word of truth. And we would say it every week at Awana. And I didn't really understand how powerful that verse was and how many pieces were in that verse. But it's like, you say it every week for 5 or 6 years and it doesn't leave you. And as an adult, I really love like everything that's in that verse. So that's
Yeah,
still my favorite verse.
that's so powerful because it's truth, right? Like it is like if you sum up what it is to be a Christian, it's in that verse. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
One verse. It's so powerful. Like just do the work, spread peace, love Jesus, like all the things. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
And the thing that I like about it is that it's, you know, at the end of the day, the only person that you're trying to really please, if that's not really the word I want to use here, but the person that really matters is God.
Yeah.
And so it's just so easy for me, and I think a lot of business people, to fall into the trap of trying to please clients or trying to please a spouse or trying to please just like a lot of times people do things because they think they're supposed to. Like I feel like a lot of small businesses are like, well, now I need to scale to 8 figures because that's what everyone else is saying you should do. A lot of realtors think like, well, now I got to get a team because that's what everyone says you should do. Like, and it's like, okay, but is that what you want to do? Like,
Right.
yeah, that's how you make passive income. Like, that's how you can do this without you running the business. But is that what you want to do? Like if you don't want to train a team and you don't want to run a team and you don't, you just want to stay this tiny little tiny boutique realtor, that's okay too.
That is
And so
okay.
the verse is like none of that matters. Society doesn't matter and your clients don't matter. And it's just about like do good and be that light that's shining for God on the earth and nothing else matters.
But like I feel like it's so easy for us to get in the mindset of, but I'm posting this on Facebook. What about this person that I haven't seen in 30 years from elementary school? What is she gonna think about me? She was popular in high school. What if she says something about me? What if she tells Bobby, who I had a crush on when I was 12, that I haven't talked to in 15 years, what I'm doing? Like I feel like people get so wrapped up in the headspace of whatever, and it's right, right? Like I only need to please God. I only need to do what God is calling me to do, and that's all that matters. Like it doesn't matter anything else. Like everything else is whatever because my endpoint is in heaven. It's in the kingdom. It has nothing to do with high school, elementary school, whatever from the back. Even sometimes I'm like talking to my husband and I'm like, yeah, I hear what you're saying, love, and I love you and I respect you, but God is calling me to this. I have to do this. And like we'll pray about it and walk through it and I'll wait for him to make a move. But I'm like, I'm going to do this. Like God is telling me to do this. I love you, but I love him more, okay? He saved me, not you.
Yeah. Yeah. And even when you think that God is calling you to something, because it's easy to hear things or to think you see things and not, you know what I mean? And so like, so maybe you're doing a thing and it didn't work out. You didn't get the results you wanted to, you know, it's okay. Like as
Yeah,
long as you handle the situation well, you know, it's, you just don't have to worry about anything else.
amen to that. Because like I was listening to a preacher. His name is Michael Todd, and he's at Transformation Church. It's a big mega church on the internet. Well, it's in Tulsa, Oklahoma, but it's also on the internet, right? So I'll watch some of his sermons. And he was saying, God told me to do this, and so I did it, and then it didn't work out. And I was like, oh no. And I like told all these people this, and I said all these things, and I felt like a fraud that I wasn't hearing God right. And he was like, that doesn't mean that I'm a fraud. I was obedient to what I heard. And that's okay, even if it didn't work out, because maybe it was just, am I being obedient? Am I walking the steps? Maybe I need to learn something there that I don't know what it was now, like at this point, but maybe later I will see that. So like you said, it's not going to work out always. That's not what God says. He does not say, do what I say and your life will be perfect. I
Yep.
wish.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, who knows? Like everything he said was true. 3 months from now, or 3 years from now, or 30 years from now, he might be able to look back on that and be like, oh, I get it now. I know why God told me to do that and then didn't give me the result that I thought I was going to get from it.
Yes. Yep. Perfect. So how do people work with you? How do they get like a Jennifer Swineford like download? How do they work with you? What is all the things? Tell me that.
So what I like to do is just give a free strategy session. It's 20
Ooh.
minutes, sit down, and it's literally no sales. It is just tell me about your business. What are you struggling with? Where are you trying to get to? You know, what have you tried to get there that didn't work, that did work? And then see if something that I offer would help you get to where you want to be, either faster or without as much of a heavy lift on your part. And so if in that conversation, it makes sense to take it to another conversation, then you will have another longer conversation where there will be some of a sales pitch. But if at the end of the conversation, it's like, hey, like, it's not a great fit for me. I can connect you with some other people. I can also give you some of these free tools. And so I have some videos and some worksheets and things that might help you get from like 0 or 50,000 to, you know, closer to the 100, 200,000, at which point then it might make sense to hire me and work with me. So I like to at least leave someone with an actionable step that they can take to improve their business.
I love that. And so that is at connect.limitlessimpactagency.com for your free strategy session with Jennifer. And I have worked with her. She's amazing to work with. And everything she's saying is so on point. She's not going to pitch you something if it's not in her wheelhouse, not in your wheelhouse, rather. It's in her wheelhouse, right? But she's going to be like, no, I think you actually need this. And I'm not going to just take your money to take your money. And she did that to me. She was like, no, actually, you need this. And I was like, okay, thank you. So work with her because she's amazing.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Is there anything else you would like to leave one more last nugget for them?
You know, marketing isn't rocket science. It's about doing the work that you know you need to do and digging into some of the hard questions that you know you need to ask. And sometimes that's easier with someone, you know, by your side, holding you accountable, nagging you a little bit, pushing you past the first answer to like the second, third, or fourth deeper answer. And so, yeah, just keep trying. I mean, I think if anyone's been in business, like, and they feel called and they love what they're doing, they should keep doing it and just find a way to be more successful and make it easier and more fun.
Amen. Thank you so much for this, Jennifer. This has just been like a light of just awesome strategy and like truth and just like realness and like really just getting back to the center point of what marketing should be, which is fun and easy and like really for a specific person and purpose. So thank you for that.
Oh, thanks for having me on, Jeanette.
Yeah. I'll talk to you soon.
Great.
Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. Go ahead and leave a review to let everybody else know how much this episode has impacted you. And you know what? I would love to get to know you even better. So go ahead and send me a DM over on Instagram at Jeanette.Peterson or come to my free group at JeanettePeterson.com/group. I'll see you guys over there.